guys, Stasi here. It's been a while since I did my last video, but today what I'm going to be doing is putting on these Molle panels that I got from Off-Road Source from my buddy Austin there. And these are going to go on the sides of the bed of the Jeep, and this will allow me to mount different things to the vehicle. So what I'm planning on doing is I ordered a high lift jack that's going to attach to this, and then I have like a flag for when we go up to the dunes up in Silver Lake, and you know, anything else that you want to store on here. The nice thing about these ones compared to some other Molle panels I've seen is that they have these bolt holes here. So what my plan is I'm going to use quick fist connectors on here and bolt them through so that I can use the connector to hold the actual equipment to the Molle panel, so you're not just stuck using traditional Molle straps or things like that. So that's the plan. I've got 2 of these to put on, and then later today, hopefully, I'm expecting something else from my friends at Off-Road Source. So let's hope that shows up. Okay, so it's finally springtime here in Michigan, which is very unpredictable, but we have a nice day. So working outside for once, not in the garage, which is much nicer. So anyway, what we got, my Gladiator came with this Duraliner that's used to protect the bed. And the way that these Molle panels attach is that behind where this Duraliner is, you have, let's say, a spray-on bed coating, or maybe not even that. There's 3 threaded holes here from the factory, and Rough Country gives you the fasteners that will go into those holes. So you have 3 at the top, but then there's 3 at the bottom that have to be attached using a nutsert. So I ordered the tool off Amazon, and I'll put the link for it later. Basically what you do is you end up drilling a hole into the side there, obviously not all the way through, into just one on the inner panel, and then you install these nutserts, right? And what the tool is, it's kind of like a rivet gun, and it has a threaded attachment. You put it in, then you compress the tool, and what that does is it squeezes the nutsert and it fills that gap of the hole, and then you have a threaded hole that you can attach anything to. So we're gonna have to do those. The first step, because I have the Duraliner, what I'm going to have to do is drill holes through the plastic here, and what I'm going to use is a unibit, and I'm going to make them a little bit larger than the hole. And obviously you can't see the hole from here, so what I did is I used a caliper, and with the caliper what I did here is I measured the distance from the top of the bed rail cap protector here down to the center of the hole, and it comes out to about 2 1/4 inches. So what I'll do is I'll put the plastic back into place and then drill the holes. And what I also did is up here is where each hole is, because like, again, you can't see it when the plastic's back, I just put a little paint dot here so I know generally where the hole is relative to the side of the bed, and then I'll just drill the hole down here with the unibit a little bit larger, and hopefully I'll be able to see the hole then. And from there I can start attaching at least the top portion of the Molle panel. And then when we get down to the bottom section, once it's in place and I know where I'm going to put it, I'll just mark a hole right through here and just drill straight through the plastic and into the metal. Again, I'll use a slightly larger hole in the plastic so that I can clear the nutsert through and get it into the metal, because you want it to expand in the metal, not in the plastic. Otherwise it's not structurally rigid, and when you have a ton of weight hanging off these things, the last thing you want them to do is flop around and break and bend and things like that. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I've already marked both sides where I'm going to drill the holes. So I'm going to in the next clip here, I'm going to push the plastic back in, get the drill bit, and start drilling the holes into the plastic, and then we'll go from there. So around about here, That's where I want it. A little bit low. Just drill it up a bit. Those will work. So with these brackets that they give you, there's a regular hole on one side and then an elongated hole on the other. And what you do is, the one with the regular hole will go with the threaded fastener straight into the body of the truck. And then on the elongated side, you use these thread clips and put them on here like that, right? And then you have a threaded fastener here, so that attaches to the vehicle, the Molle panel attaches to this. So what I'm going to do now is attach each one of these to the vehicle, and then we'll put the Molle panel on, and then with the bottom brackets, those are the shorter ones. Again, similar style, but you can see they're shorter. And again, you use the clips here to attach it to the Molle panel. And then the difference is this time we'll attach this to the Molle panel first, and then put the bracket to where we want it on the vehicle, and then go ahead and drill the holes for the nutserts. And so that's what we're going to do now. So I've got one of the screws here, and it comes with washers as well. They're socket head button screws. So take the first bracket and put the screw and the washer through there. And then thread it into the hole. Kind of going blind here, but it should, if I can find it. All right, so we've got the first bracket there, and you want them pointing down. So do the next one. The instructions say that with vehicles that might have a spray and bed liner, what usually happens is that the bed liner material can get into those threaded holes, so you would need to use a tap to clean them out. I can't remember the size of it, but it's in the instructions there. So if you do have a bed liner before you undertake this project, I would suggest that you can first check to see if the bolts will screw in properly, and if not, go ahead and grab a tap and then clean out each one of these holes. Otherwise you're going to be fighting it later. to the last top one in. Okay. So just grab the camera here so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so there's the 3 brackets attached, right? So next step is we're going to get the Molle panel and set it into place and attach it from the top here to see how it sits. We'll put the other bottom brackets on as well, and then figure out where we're going to drill these holes down here. So there's, I think there's going to be like one around here, one here, and then one up here somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to put these bottom brackets on first, just loosely, so I'm not fighting with it later. So put nut and washer here. Good. This last one I'm going to put about level with the other hole, kind of give it some structural rigidity. I mean, I guess you could put it in any one of these holes. All right, so we'll try this out and see how it goes. So I've mounted the Molle panel there like that, and because of the Duraliner, it's a bit snugger because it takes up some of the thickness here, right? And this is not exactly right on the metal behind it, so you're just gonna have to push it a little bit. But what I've got here now is, you can see there, I've got one bracket mounted there, one here, and then one around here. So what I'm going to do is mark with a pen or something where the hole needs to be drilled. Then I'll take the panel off, drill the hole, and put the nutsert in, and then we can attach it properly. Okay, so for this one here and this one here, what I did is I actually had to use a hole saw to make the hole a bit bigger because I couldn't get the tool in deep enough to where it was putting the nutsert flush against the metal. So yeah, those ones I had to make a bit bigger. So I mean, it's not bad because the bracket will then sit flush against the metal and be more secure, whereas this one here, this panel is like right up against the metal, so it didn't it didn't matter. So that one's gonna be good. All right, so got it fastened. It's on there. It's solid as a rock. That ain't moving. So that'll be good once we get all the other stuff on, and we can put the quick fists on here, mount all the other stuff. So I just have to do the other side, but basically it's the same thing, so I'm not going to bore you to death with that. But as I was saying before, oh, there's the doggies. That one's not dead, it's just sleeping. Got something cool from Off-Road Source. Matching bumper for the front. It's rugged ridge, heavy duty rear bumper, and let's see if you look at the hooks in that, it matches my front bumper perfectly. And I've been waiting to get this for a while now because that rear plastic bumper is just cheesy as all get out. So that'll go to match this, and then we'll be all set for the dunes next week. One of the things I had to do in Michigan, when you go on the dunes, you have to have a 10-foot flag, and it has to be at the front of the vehicle. So I got this quick disconnect mount. I looked everywhere to see where I could put this mount. I didn't really want it on the bar here. I just think it was just too busy with another bracket. So I just drew a hole here and bolted it to the other side, painted the hole so hopefully it doesn't rust, but it should be good. So anyway, when I finish this Molle panel on the other side, I'll start up the next video for the rear bumper, and that one should be pretty easy to do. I've taken this bumper up before when I did the hitch, just to put one of the bolts in. So that will come next. All right guys, stay tuned. Okay guys, I finished putting in the other Molle panel, so I got both of them in. But one thing I didn't think about, I didn't expect, is with this trifold cover, it's a Tiger, so I'm not sure what other trifolds are like. He uses these clips here to secure it. And typically they go down, and then you hook them into that rail right there, and then you flick the lever down. But these are in the way. So I think what I'm going to have to do, so you can adjust them how they sit out from the rail there. Might have to relocate it a bit further in so it kind of lines up with this Molle panel, and then have some kind of bracket or something that I could screw in there so it's got something to grab onto. I mean, it kind of lines up with this one Molle hole. The problem is these bolts that hang down aren't long enough. The other, I mean, if I could find a longer one of these bolts, it would be all right, because let me set this down here. I'm trying to get this thing out. Okay. I mean, it's just like an eye bolt, but I mean, what's the chances of finding that somewhere that's longer? I mean, that's what you could do. It would solve the problem. But I don't even think Ace is going to have something like that. I mean, I could be wrong. Could be worth looking for, because then if that's the case, I could just easily just hook it into this one here. I think it's lined up here. Just hook it in there, and then Bob's your uncle. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out, because until I do, there's no way to secure this thing. I mean, you could put a little strap or something there, but I don't know if that's really that secure, so I'll have to figure that out. All right guys, well, that's it for this video. I'm going to start on the next video here soon, right after this, to be honest, and it's going to be for the bumper that I'm going to put on the back. All right guys, see you in the next video.